Today we'll be continuing our June 2nd and first week current affairs lecture number 2. Just wait for a second, I'll just see that whether the audio is clear, and you guys also can write in the comment section in the live chat that my audio is properly visible to all of you or not. Okay. So in our class yesterday, we have discussed the following current affairs. Do follow the lectures very regularly. Economy, as you know, that consists of 20 marks, 20 questions in the prelims examination, which is around 2 marks, like half of the cutoff you can easily get through economics. This is a very important point. So if a student who is preparing for UPSC prelims or mains examination, it is very important. Economy also plays a role in GS paper 3. It has a role with regard to what one general essay has been continuously asked with respect to what economy sector. Okay, so you cannot skip. There are few important subjects are there which need to be studied by each and every aspirant without any ado. Hi Manjit, my voice is clear to you, right? So do attend the classes very regularly. The students who are watching me, make sure that you do come regularly. Don't skip any of the lectures. And make sure that you are pro economy, pro environment, pro polity, pro current affairs. If you are at least concentrating on these 4 important areas of your preliminary examination, then I bet you are having lot of 99.99% of chances of getting to the prelims examination. Okay, right. So yesterday we have seen aging report of India. We have seen that the old age group, that is above 60 years, population group in our country is having issues of what livelihood, who will give them food to survive, who will treat their health issues. So to concentrate, to focus on these two, what government of India have taken the measures, what are the various problems associated with 60 years above population. Some of them are, many of them are sonless, don't have anyone to take care of. The infrastructure with regard to senior care citizen is in a dismal state. Rural areas does not even have the concept of old age homes. Urban areas do have. These old age population suffer from very anxiety issues. Okay, so for them palliative care is important, which is also very expensive. Okay, so and so forth, we have done it in a very clear aspect. Then we have went towards this one. The government of India, in order to take care of this old age population, has introduced already in the year 1995 Indira Gandhi old age pension scheme. Along with that, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is also extended to them. 5 lakh rupees of health benefits will be given per family, including husband and wife. Then we have spoken about Human Development Index. Then we have also spoken about poverty rate 2025. These 4 topics we have completed in our lecture 1 of economic current affairs. Today is economic current affairs lecture number 2 of June 2nd and 3rd week. So we are going to see all of these current affairs today. I'll just move the slides, with the help of which you will have a glance on what we have done yesterday. You will be in better place what actually you are studying. And whenever I am doing the lecture, I am also giving you MCQ and also telling you which are the important areas of prelims and the mains. Right. National Human Development Index is over. Till here we have learned yesterday, I guess, medium human development category, as yes, very high human development category countries. Iceland, we are in a middle or medium human development category and our rank is 130. We have learned all of this. Let us now talk about global hunger index. You know, students, there is one concept in our subject which is called as what? Poverty line. Poverty line. Now poverty line is basically defined on what? Income levels of population, right or wrong? Yes. Those who are unable to get the income to feed for themselves 2100 calories in the urban areas, 2400 calories in the rural areas. If you are not able to earn that much amount of money in order to fulfill your individual requirements, if you are not able to buy this much of calories or this much of calories in urban and rural areas respectively, then you are all called as what? BPL. And if anybody who is above this particular line able to fulfill these calorie intake with the help of what? Income that you earn, they all are considered into APL, above poverty line, right? This is a basic understanding. But just imagine the point here. Poverty is not a so narrow concept that you are just trying to define it with on the basis of what? Calorie intake, on the basis of basically food intake we are talking about. Poverty is a very enlarged concept. Poverty is nothing but lack of education to your family members you are not able to provide, lack of health facilities that you are not able to provide your family members, lack of shelter, okay, lack of transportation, lack of communication. All of these are important ingredients of poverty. But our poverty line generally talks about only what? Food. So basically our poverty line should be revised, and it is called as what? Starvation line. It is called as what? Starvation line. Starvation when you do, when you don't take the food. Okay. So government of India should give a separate starvation line and how many people are starving and how many people are not starving. Then government of India should give what? Poverty line. How many people are poor with regard to various dimensions of human development, how many people are able to fulfill it. So these two are important. But in our country, basically, we generally go for this in order to hide the number of population who are suffering from starvation and also give the better results with regard to poverty by just taking. Now poverty includes here in our definition only calorie intake. So many of the people are able to have calorie intake easily, they can get it. Okay, or else in PDS or in ration shops or state government schemes they are able to fulfill the calorie intake. But what about other areas of poverty? They are not concentrating. With the help of that, what happens? The percentage of poor people will look less in our country because it is all about calorie intake, but it is not about the other dimensions of human development. I hope this is all clear to you. Let us now talk about, okay, global hunger index. This global hunger index only talks about the food. That is what we all actually also want for our country. Okay, India is having surplus production, but persistent malnutrition is there in our country. Despite being among the largest food producer in the world, India continues to rank poorly in addressing hunger. Means hunger is nothing but when you are starving for food, when you want to have 3 meals per day, but you are not able to get that 3 meals, then it means you are suffering from hunger. Our rank is here 105 out of 127 countries, which is very bad rank. Okay, global hunger index. Okay, if you see the score that we are having 27.3, which is very low, and we are categorized as a country which is having a serious problem of what? Khana. Okay. Now malnutrition, yesterday also I have told you that basically if A says to the B that B is malnourished, in what sense you understand that a particular person is malnourished? So if I say you are malnourished, you are malnourished. So on what basis, on what standards I will say that you are malnourished? For this purpose, we are having two indicators. One is stunting we are having, another one is wasting we are having. Stunting is nothing but your height is not growing with the age, and stunting is nothing but wasting is nothing but your age and your weight. Your height and your weight are not matching. You are 6 feet but you are like a kadi, like a stick, 50 kg. So this is called as what? Wasting. And if your age is like 25 but still you are like 5.5, 5.4, not up to the standard, then it is called as what? Stunting. And these two are associated with what? Nourishment that you take from your childhood. Means what you feed yourself from your childhood will only make you like Why the basically the North Indians, especially the city people, and also if you see the Gulf countries, or if you see the Europeans, why they are having good height? Okay, your body and their body or our body, all human body are same, the number of bones are same, the number of organs are same, but still they are having good heights, we are not having good heights. What is the reason for it? The reason very simple: they are well nourished from the childhood. Properly, every balanced diet, egg, etc. is given to them. That's why their development happen very well, which is not the case of what India. Why? Because lot of population is under poor, and giving them the proper nutrition diet is very impossible with the given limited income that we are having. Right. So if you see a child wasting out of 100 child, let us suppose in a crude number, as an example I am saying, if we are having 100 children are there, 19 children are what? Wasting, which is highest in the world. Where stunting, if you see under 5, means 5 years you are having age, but the height is not up to the 5 years when compared to international standards, it is very less. So how many number of children out of 100, if you see in a crude manner, 35 children are stunted. It is also a very high number. Okay. But this index does not actually take care of any of the welfare measures launched by governments. So our critics and our policy experts says that the global hunger index does not actually calculate the government schemes and local interventions that were given to remove this. According to National Family Health Survey 5, it also have said that India is suffering from high levels of malnutrition. It means what? Even though the government of India is having welfare measures in the form of Poshan Abhiyan and ICDS, okay, whether it is Global Hunger Index, whether it is what this National Family Health Survey, both of them are actually saying to the government and opening the eyes of the government, sir, it is not about the welfare measures that you have launched. Both our agency of research and the international agency, both of them are resonating with the same voice and saying that India is having high level of malnutrition. So we have to work on it. The state-wise decline, if you see, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan has recorded the sharpest decline with regard to what? Multi-dimensional poverty. Now let us talk about poverty rate 2025. Poverty in our country is basically declining, but growing inequality is there. Yesterday I have completed it. Let us go ahead with the press freedom index was also done yesterday. I have told you. Let us now talk about gender gap index. Okay. Gender gap index, political representation without economic empowerment. This is the heading. Political representation without economic empowerment. India's position in World Economic Forum's gender gap. Okay. So Global Gender Gap Index, who releases it? It is a very important point. It is released by World Economic Forum, WEF. Reflect significant disparities with regard to male and female, how we are performing. Like in our country, male are there and female are there. How these two are performing on various indicators. Whether you see the literacy rate of male, literacy rate of female, life expectancy of male, life expectancy of female, land ownership of male, land ownership of female, labor force participation of male, labor force participation of female. Okay. Equal pay for male, equal pay for what? Female. Okay. Then you can see that number of FDs on male, number of FDs on female. If you see them, various indicators, the number of PhD students with regard to the male, the number of PhD students with regard to the workforce of male, workforce of female. If you see in all of these indicators, there is a huge gap is there. It means what? Okay, if 10 men are working, 2-3 women are only working. This is called as what? Gender gap. Now the question here is why? The question here is why? So this is what we generally try to find out, and whenever the issues are there, we generally implement welfare schemes in order to bring it to what? Better levels of on par with what? Male. So India's position with regard to gender gap index have a very big significant disparities are there between male and female. That's why we are ranking 126, which is the latest ranking according to 2025. Iceland retained the world's most gender equal economy for the 16th consecutive year. This point is important for the prelims. Don't forget. Now a country is very very good in gender gap, does not have much gap at all. Both male and female life expectancy same, literacy is almost same, land ownership is almost same, work participation is almost same, labor participation is almost same, education levels are almost same, social status is almost same. If a country is having all of these in a very very perfect matter, okay, it means what? Iceland, what practices they are doing, what policy they are making, what laws they are making. So this particular country is now an example for all other countries, so that we should learn from it. So we call such practices, whatever the Icelands are doing, we call that practices as benchmark practices. We'll see now India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, okay, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, all these African countries, all these countries should see the model of development of the Iceland and learn from it, and try to figure out how we can reduce the gender gap by learning that. Okay, you can see the female labor force participation is just 20%, and with regard to the male it is almost around 70%. Sex ratio at birth 9:11, whereas with regard to the male sex 9:11 per 100 boys, 1000 boys, only 9:11 girls are there. It means here either the couples are not preferring female, okay, somehow illegally trying to find out what is the gender of the fetus and trying to know the male and female infanticides are being done, abortions are being done. So seeing 9:11 girls only for the 1000 boys, it means what? There is some kind of this much big gap. Now we can also argue that sir अगर 9:11 ही हुए तो क्या करेंगे naturally भी, but इतना gap नहीं आता है. Basically it should be around 960 970 पर 1000 boys, but it is coming 100 boys अगर less हो रहे हैं, girls less हो रहे हैं, then it clearly sees that कुछ ना कुछ human interference is there with the natural codes, with the nature. You can understand this point. Sub indexes which are there in the global gender gap index are economic participation, very important, economic participation and opportunity number 1, educational attainment number 2, health and survival number 3, political empowerment number 4. These are the 4 sub indexes in global gender gap index. In the examination they will ask you like this: which among the following are the sub indexes of global gender gap index? They will give economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment and health and survival. Instead of political empowerment they may give what? Banking and finance. So banking and finance is the odd man out here. So first one is economy, then education, then hamari sehat, that is health, then political empowerment. These 4 indexes, don't ever forget, the rank is 126. It is given by World Economic Forum. Labor and Iceland tops by 16th year consecutive. India has increased women representation in parliament. Increase I am saying, not like number of women are more in parliament than male. It's not that I am talking about. Slowly the number of women are increasing in the parliament I am saying, but this has not translated into equal participation in economy or leadership role. Leadership roles are nothing but, अगर हम देखेंगे विप्रो के सीईओ कौन है? मेल ही है. अगर हम देखेंगे टीसीएस के सीईओ कौन है? मेल ही है. अगर हम देखेंगे बोट के सीईओ कौन है? मेल ही है. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे शुगर के सीईओ विनीता मैडम आते हैं. देन अगर आप देखेंगे ज़ीरोदा के सीईओ कौन है? If you talk about the banks, ICCI, ICICI, Axis banks, so these are called as what? Leadership roles. These are called as what? Leadership roles. If you see all the chairmen and CEOs and COOs of many of the private sector or the government sector, NHAI, NMDC, IRDA, PFRDA, etc. If you see also the ISRO chairman, DRDO chairman, whether you see the public sector enterprises or private sector companies, whatever you see, the number of CEOs, more male are there than female. That's why India is lacking. Women is not getting lot of leadership roles. Okay, now in the economy they are very very flourishing. Okay, in economy their loan taking capacity is very less, their entrepreneurship is very less, their establishment of industry is very less. In economy also they are not participating much and not also equal, and only we are able to see what? Increased participation in parliament. Slowly it is increasing. Is it clear to all of you? Please just tell me. Is it clear? Manjeet and all other students who are watching me, global gender gap, the concept and the static data, is it all clear to you? Please do put a message. That is also very fine. Okay. Chalo. Now let us talk about democracy index. In India, electoral strength is there. Means the number of people who actually elect the leaders like PM Modi ji or any other person in future. Electoral strength is very good. Now means what? We can, हम किसी का भी तख्ता पलट सकते हैं. We can change the fortune of our leaders. It means India has lot of capabilities with regard to overturn the takhta or the throne occupied by anyone. So the electoral strength is very good. Why? Because the number of children, the number of old age people are less in our country. That is why large number of people, large number of our population is there under what? Voting age group. It means what? We can do anything with regard to which particular person we want to make it sit in the Delhi. According to Economist Intelligence Unit, India's democracy is called as flawed democracy. It means you know that democracy is the one system of government in which people elect their leaders to govern the country. So democracy is in the when you are a child and you might be studying that democracy is of the people, for the people, by the people. Obviously democracy is of the people because whoever come to power, they should be looking of the people. फॉर द पीपल, इनके लिए ही काम करना. बाय द पीपल, डेमोक्रेसी इनकी वजह से ही है, इनकी वजह से ही है. बाय द पीपल, इनके लिए ही काम करना. फॉर द पीपल, ओके, ऑफ द पीपल, इनसे ही आती है डेमोक्रेसी. ओके, आई गेस दिस इज ऑल क्लियर टू यू. ओके, राइट. So India's democracy is called as flawed democracy. Why? Because lot of electoral scams, lot of electoral riggings, booth capturings, and these all things are happening. And the debate with regard to EVMs, etc. is in the Supreme Court. So they have called our democracy is flawed. Means flaw का मतलब है कि कुछ खराबी है हमारी democracy में. Rank is 47 out of 167 countries, which is very good rank, and but still they categorize us as flawed democracy despite robust electoral participation. बहुत अच्छा सा participation हुआ है with regard to the voters to elect the leaders. हमारे पास delays in judicial processes है. Okay, people are not getting the justice on the right time, so delayed in, because it's all about people, means judicial processes are delaying, means democracy is not working well with regard to the poor people. Misuse of laws against dissenters. If I talk or criticize to the government or any of the official chief ministers or the cabinet ministers, any of them, then I will be booked under laws misusing it. Reduce space for NGOs. Independent institutions have not much power left with in order to do or put a pressure on the government. We call them as pressure groups. In the Polity Lakshmikant, you are having this chapter called as pressure groups. NGOs and independent institutions are actually acting as a pressure groups because they bring into limelight any kind of scam, any kind of disproportionate action, or any kind of arbitrary or tyranny action by the government and executive. All of these are on these credentials we are actually suffering. That's why our democracy has been categorized as flawed democracy. Then if you talk about environmental performance index, should we support growth over green or green over growth? This is a very, very important aspect or dilemma, or you can say the paradox that the policymakers have to actually solve it. Economic growth is all about what? Increase in production. When you want to increase in production, you have to use electricity and power and harness the resources. When you do this, lot of environment is being harmed. So when you're harming the environment, it is leading to what? Global warming, leading to what? Climate change, may lead to what? Famine, floods, sea level changes, etc. This process is happening just because you wanted to grow what? You wanted to increase economic production in our country. All this cycle is being run. Now India should concentrate on green or should produce more and more to feed the world's largest population according to United Nations population report. India remains at the bottom of global environmental rankings, which is again a very bad state. Environment Performance Index 2025, the latest report has ranked as 180 out of 180, which is like I am shocked to see. First of all, this we see about EV. Okay. Rankings, which is again a very bad state. Environment Performance Index 2025, the latest report has ranked as 180 out of 180, which is like. Sushant, is in my mobile? I can see that it is very clear voice. So maybe you have to change or try to see with another mobile. You can get the audio very clearly. Other students who are watching me, can you please tell me that audio is clear? Or it is the only problem with the Sushant mobile? Sometimes it happens, even it happens with my laptop also. My laptop speakers are gone, so whenever I am hearing any song or any kind of dialogue from my laptop, no, it burst, it like a rupture thing will come. But the same thing if I do on my mobile, it becomes very soothing and softening. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So India has been ranked 180, like bottom, like lot of EV push we are giving, lot of electric vehicles, electric buses, okay, solar energy, rooftop, Pradhan Mantri Surya Ghar Bijli Yojana. After doing all the things, Indian Green Building Code, that also we are doing, okay, and sustainable agriculture we are doing, sustainable production, sustainable consumption, we are promoting innovation, etc. But still India has been ranked at the bottom. This has to be debated for sure, but same as 2022 we were ranked 180 out of 180 countries, now also the same. With regard to the air pollution, 14 of the top 20 most polluted cities are in India. Means out of 20 cities across the world, out of 20 cities across the world, 14 cities are basically are coming from what India. It means what India cities air quality is very very bad. The government has also already invested in solar energy, electric vehicles, industrial emissions, urban constructions, vehicular pollutions, okay, EV bikes, etc. So remain unaddressed at a scale. So whatever the government is doing with regard to these measures are actually at minuscule level, at a very very low level. Okay, this is not bringing any much change with regard to our air quality or our water quality. That is what the report is saying. Clear? Now, educational and learning outcomes, enroll but not educated. Lot of people, you know that many of us also do the same thing. We enroll in online courses, but we not learn from it. That the same thing is happening with the government school childrens also. They are getting enrolled. The families are sending the children to the school, to the government school, primary educational centers, but students are not getting educated. It means what? They are not learning ABCD, they are not learning 1 2 3 4, they are not learning, okay, nouns, pronouns, or they are not learning how to read English comprehensions, they are not learning how to do the minimum numeracy like 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 5. So basically students are enrolled but not educated. It clearly means that maybe the families are sending the children's or their daughters and sons to the Anganwadi centers just to get the food. Is it that? If food is not given, they will not even enroll? Or it is they are coming only for the food purpose? Because if they are only enrolled but not educated, it is clearly seen that the Poshan Abhiyan which is going on and the Anganwadi centers which provide lot of food to the children, with around we are having 2 eggs are given, banana is also given. This is also regulated with regard to the state also. Our state has added more what it says that items in the same ration which is given by the central government. But understand one point here, more are enrolled but not educated, though literacy and enrollment rates have improved. Okay, literacy and enrollment rates have improved. Learning outcomes remain a concern. Literacy rate according to 2025 latest data we are having is 79.5. Learning outcome according to the ACER report 2024, over 45% of class 5 students are unable to solve or read a text of grade 2 level math. Suppose if I am ninth class, at least at 5th, 6th class, I should solve the question answers or not? Yes. But the students are getting into higher class but not able to solve the lower class mathematics or the textual or comprehensions. So it means what? They are getting enrolled and getting promoted, but they are not getting what? Educated. If they don't get educated, they don't possess a skill. If they don't possess a skill, then how can they get a job? This is a very important, right? The National Education Policy NEP 2020, very important for the prelims examination, for a lower category examination. They may ask you that when is NEP was introduced in the year 2020, promised sweeping reforms, but state-wise disparities in implementation persist. India risk producing a workforce that is educated on paper but unemployable in practice. It means what? I have given you tuition, you are coming to my tuition, you are coming to my classes every other time, but you are not learning anything. Okay, and when I have given you a test after 2 months, you are not even performing. It means what? I have produced students which are like coming to my class but which will not crack the examination of UPSC. So don't be in that particular zone. Learning all of this will actually make your mind very elaborate and make you think that okay, whatever you learn, it should have definite impact on your income generating capacity. Okay, you should build your career. This is more important. Learn to build career, learn to earn income. These are the two important points that you have to keep in life in order to grow better. Right. Two Indias, that was also there in the article. In 2025, India stands at the crossroads. It is a rising global economic power. You know that we became the fourth largest economy. So we are a rising global economic power with lot of digital ambitions, UPI. Okay, all of that we are doing. Banking sector is thriving, or geopolitically also we are strong. But yet it also remains a home to stark social inequalities. SCSTs owning or their living are very less when compared to other classes. Malnutrition, we have seen lot of persisting. Global gender gap is very high. Shrinking civic space means in the civilization, in our civilian space or social space, we have very less interaction or very less say with regard to parliamentary or executive or democratic process. Economic growth is essential, my dear students, but as these global ranking shows, it is not sufficient. A true global power is not defined by GDP alone, but how it uplifts its more vulnerable citizens, okay, and give them dignity, rights, health and opportunity. That is what the true global power is all about. For India, the next challenge is just not to grow, but grow equally and justly. That is what we seek for. I hope this is all clear to you. Tomorrow I'll continue the third installment of this particular current affairs. I hope this is good. You take care. I'll see you tomorrow with the more current affairs, and we'll also do the MCQs with regard to yesterday's and today's class. So yesterday class and today's class, please see, it is conducted, is there in the live class section. Please see that classes. Tomorrow we'll do around 10 to 15 questions. I am telling you, you will be learning a very good economy with me. All the static and current affairs I will be covering along with the other current affairs, which is my forte subjects. You will be definitely getting better off over a period of time with regard to economy. Don't miss my classes and do share with all of your friends, and do join the courses that we have launched, that foundation courses and NCERT plus foundation courses for 2025 to 2026. Highly esteemed qualitative faculty led by Ojha sir is there with n number of tests and weekly, monthly current affair magazine, and classes like this to empower you more are a part of this enrollment process. Thank you. Take care. Have a nice day.